Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Outsiders by Capita snowboards. This board features Capita's Resort V1 camber profile, which is basically camber. So you got that arc of camber, and then right before the up kick and the tip and the tail, right by the contact points, it gets a little more flat. This is just going to give you a little bit more edge grip right out there, but you're still going to retain that load and pop of traditional camber underfoot. This board is available in 150, 152, 154, 156, 158, 152 wide, and 156 wide. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a bluebird day that had high cloud outcroppings, creating a little bit of shade, and basically the snow was firm and fast, soft and creamy, a little slushy and chundery. There was some ice in the shade, and there were warmer temps. It was a perfect mix of spring-like conditions, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This board has your standard park flex, softer in the tip and the tail, stiffer through the midsection with a moderate amount of torsional flex. It's not really overwhelming, and the overall flex can best be described as just past middle of the road. Now, when it comes to stability, you get a little bit of chatter at high speeds, just resonating through the tips. You slightly feel that underfoot, and when you get into lumpy, rutted out terrain, this board just plows through everything in its path and stays on top of it. When your body gets really jarred, that's when you feel it, so keep your knees slightly bent. You should be able to absorb it. Unless you're old, then you're going to feel it in your back and hate life. As this board is predominantly traditional camber, let's be real here, you have to load it up, and when you do, it will rebound and give you some serious snap. There's a lot of pop in this board. Now, with that said, when you've engaged the camber profile and you're getting ready to pop, there's a slight delay to it, which really doesn't mean shit in the grand scheme of things. It just means that you're a little more locked in and then it rebounds. It's not highly reactive, but you are going to get a lot of spring out of this board. Now, when you hit jumps, if you ever wanted to overshoot a small jump, this is a great board for it because it's really designed for bigger features. It's going to send you higher and go further. That's just how it reacts. It wants to pop off the lip. It wants to be up in the air. It wants bigger features. It wants to just lock in when it comes down into the landing. All right, so you like to butter, right? Okay. You're going to want to get your weight out at the tip or the tail, depending on what you're doing, right where that small flat section is. That is the sweet spot that you want to have your weight over. And you're going to press harder than you think to really push into it because the camber section is going to fight you. So use a little bit of speed, understand how to work those leg muscles in conjunction with the flex of the binding, and you should be fine. Now, with that said, that camber section is going to fight you, so be prepared to pop out of anything you do. And as I said, speed and muscle are your friend. When it comes to jibbing, it's the same thing. If you want to sit in a tail press, you're going to put all your weight outside that rear binding and sit out on that flat spot and really flex the board and feel that camber section take over and want to give you spring. That's the same thing with the nose. You're going to have your weight out there. You're going to just be fighting it the whole time. And speed. Lots of speed. That's what you're going to need. When you get sideways on a feature, it slightly cradles the camber around it, but overall it just feels like it's doing a balance board act on top of it just due to the flex of this board. So be aware of that. Like, this isn't going to clap out on you. You're not really going to hug around it. You're just going to sort of land, get a slight gentle caress, and then it's going to go all the way across the feature. This is a board that wants to be on edge, and it lets you know it. It steers from right underfoot, and you get a lot of power out of it. There's a very fluid and nimble edge-to-edge transmission. You never feel like the board is actually flat basing when you transition from toe to heel. It's like toe edge, heel edge, toe edge, heel edge. There's none of that feel like you're just having that delay where you're flat base as you transition from one to the other. It's locked in. You get a ton of power out of the tail of this board, so when you really lay a carve over, you can push into it, slingshot yourself through the turn, transition back over to the other edge, and repeat until you're content. Short, tight, quick turns, medium, mellow carves, long, hard, drawn-out carves, or even deep Euro carves. This board rocks at them all. Who's this board for? The high-end freestyle rider. It's been a hot minute since the last time I got on an Outsiders, and this feels a little bit beefier than the last one I was on. There's just a little bit more snap, it's a little stiffer, it takes a little bit more to press and to get that rebound out of it, which isn't a bad thing. This is a board for medium to high speed, just freestyle assault. And if you're on your A game for the day, that's great. If you're being lazy, you can still be lazy with it. This is a great board. It just does everything you want. And for someone that's a high-end freestyle rider, I think they're gonna totally dig it. Comparable boards, the Rome Mod, the GNU Rider's Choice C3, the Ride Burnout. Binding recommendations, the Union Strata, the Ride C8, the Rome Katana. This has been my review of the Capita Outsiders. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.